Daytime, hang time, moving the plug and the power, ayy. Came with a charge in my alley, ooh. Charge it again like it's credit, Your twin crowd need to edit, yeah. I see Facebook get it, hold up, ooh, that's good, need a minute, need to play through a violence, kill a shot, press it. They say what I say, they got like 20 moves and like 100 problems. I'm James with a step back, throw that shot up, I don't miss often. Don't look, I had to boss up, get the post up when it's OT. When I'm home, see me that gold ring with that weight go on me. Get out the way, get out the way, get out the way.
And the Clippers looking good as they came into the arena before the game. Important to make a splash in hostile territory. And the game arrival, sponsored by Express. Dress like a pro. The sprawling metropolis of Dallas, Texas is our setting tonight, as seen from above. Welcome, everyone, to Noche Enabia. A Latin theme is the backdrop to tonight's festivities. With Greg Anthony and Brent Barry, this is Kevin Harlan. We'll be hearing from David Aldridge on the sideline. And the Clippers starting five. Marcus Morris is out there with Ibaka. Then it's Patrick Beverley. Then there's Kawhi Leonard. And it's George in at the 2 spot. And for the Mavericks, we've got Hardaway. Kristaps Porzingis is out there with Cauley Stein. Then there's Luka Doncic. And it's Finney Smith in at the 3. Opening night, Brent, always exciting. Technically, every team is undefeated with a lot of hope.
You're just fired up. I mean,
I am fired up.
The NBA never stops, Kevin. We know this, right?
Isn't it great, though? I'm so glad it doesn't stop.
I mean, off-season is just absolutely ridiculously exciting.
So fun.
So much movement and hope for franchises that, you know, have struggled for a long time. And here we go. Hope springs eternal. It's opening night.
Now here is Hardaway. Over Morris, and Hardaway gets it to go.
A little bit of breathing room, and Tim Hardaway Jr. is going to look right to the rim.
Outside Leonard. It's rebounded by Dallas. They faced off right here last time they met, but the home club just couldn't pull out the win.
It was a loss last time they faced up against each other. A very tightly contested game that they felt they could have won.
Man, felt like they probably would have won if they weren't saddled with all that foul trouble. They had to piece together some makeshift lineups late in that game. That might have cost them.
Now here's Beverley, following the missed shot by Willie Cauley-Stein. A floater, it's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
Beverley showing off a little bit of a teardrop. Didn't know he had that.
Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines.
Well, Kevin, Rick Carlisle gave me a few minutes to catch up with him. Asked about the key. Coach said dealing with Paul George. He's able to affect the game in so many ways. Kevin, they have scouted this game closely and scouted PG-13 even closer.
Okay, David, thanks. Beverley against Doncic. Out to Morris. There's the pass to Ibaka. And here's George for 3. The shot, no good. And the Mavericks going the other way now. Pass to Cauley-Stein. The 3 from Porzingis. The rebound by Ibaka. For Los Angeles, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Here's Leonard. Morris right side. Pass to Beverley. Four on the clock. There's the 3. His second shot goes in. Off to a good start. 2 for 2.
And becoming more of a staple of his attack offensively. You give Beverley a look from deep, and he'll make it.
A superstar summer, Greg, for the Los Angeles Clippers in Kawhi Leonard and in Paul George. Greg, they have 2 elite wings, great defenders in their prime.
Give them credit, but also Kawhi Leonard pushing the levers behind the scenes. He wanted another superstar to join him in recruiting Paul George, who still had 2 years left on his deal in OKC. Kawhi took unprecedented control of his free agent destiny.
Here's George after Luka Doncic's bucket.
Well, for so much of what Paul George brings to the table, you have to start with his defensive impact. He is one of the top defenders in the league at his position, if not the best.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one. That free throw good from George. You look at George with all he does, Greg, you sometimes forget how good his perimeter defense is.
Well, I mean, his teammates and coaches won't ever forget about the impact he has on that end. Even when George isn't scoring or the shot isn't falling, he is still a monster on the floor just with his defense alone.
And both free throws good for Paul George.
A big fella with the ability and confidence at the free throw line is something that every team wants. Don't have to make those late substitutions. Keep your big guys on the floor.
Now, here's Doncic. 38 points for him last game against Denver.
Yeah, but there's always this point, Kevin, you got to look at where did he also impact the game? It was on the rebounding end of the floor. A tremendous performance there.
And here's Beverly. He brings it up for Los Angeles. And first quarter, we're about 3.5 minutes in. It's George on the wing, headed by Porzingis. Los Angeles needs to get off a shot here, and Leonard gets it to go.
Yeah, I didn't think there was a pass available there for Paul George, but he spots that small crease, he fires the ball through it, and he gets it to his open man.
And Dallas calls their first time out of the game. What improvements, Brent, do you like to see out of players going from season 1 to their second season in the league?
Biggest thing, Kevin, turnovers. Player comes into the league, has an opportunity to play, wants to rush things, plays too fast, doesn't have an ability to slow down and make reads. From season 1 to season 2, and given the role and responsibility for that player, when you watch a guy whose ability to take away the mistakes, the simple mistakes he made last year, that's growth.
Because it's connected to so many other areas of his game.
Right, and he's not trying to do things that he wasn't capable of doing when he came into the league last year. He's understanding more of where it is that he's best suited in possessions and for that offense.
Good explanation. Maxi Kleber, he's checked in for Cauley Stein. Redick comes in for Dorian Finney-Smith. Josh Richardson's checked in for Hardaway. And it's Jalen Brunson in for Luka Doncic. Now, here's Redick. Here's Brunson. And the layup's good off the glass.
Well, this is when you start to talk about Redick not just always looking for offense, clearly looking for teammates there.
Jackson with it. He really played well in that last game against Golden State. Batum passes to Cousins. Now here's Jackson. From deep three-point range, it's rebounded by Brunson.
Close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Down low, here's Porzingis. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. And Greg, as many expected, Porzingis getting a huge deal from Dallas to keep him a Mav for a long time.
Mavs feel he can be better than he was before the injury. Love the idea of pairing him long-term with Doncic. Sign him to a lengthy and sizable deal to be the core of their future.
Shooting 2.
The first free throw is good. And the impact that Porzingis can have on the defensive end, Greg, cannot be overstated.
The reach and leaping ability he has paired with his timing make him a premier rim protector. And what sets him over the top really is that fearlessness. He will challenge anyone and everyone at the rim.
And both free throws good for Porzingis.
Porzingis plays with a high motor. We've seen in the early part of his career have very good starts to seasons and then struggling maybe in the second half of the year. We'd like to see that stamina all year long, at least for a full season.
And then Cousins with the dunk. Guys back and forth this first half.
And this could continue to go back and forth the entire way.
Now here's Brunson, guarded by Jackson. Brunson, no good. The Clippers in the lead. And here's Jackson. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. Passes it to Kennard. That three off the mark. The Mavericks have gone 4-7 from the field, shooting over 50%. The shot by Redick, no good. If they time it right, they can end this quarter with a 2-for-1.
And that's how you want to end the quarters.
The pass to Kennard. Now Cousins. Shoots a fader. It's hauled in by Richardson. Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds. Pass to Porzingis. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. It's on Nicholas Batum.
Well, the closer Porzingis gets to the basket, the more aggressive he becomes, and for good reason. He's going to get fouled.
The Mavericks have had 2 chances at the line already, making them both.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And the first one at the line is good. Trey Burks checked in for Jalen Brunson. And both free throws good for Porzingis. We've got 22 seconds left in the first quarter. Now here's Jackson. Burke covering. To the inside. Cousins. It's going to be out of bounds. Los Angeles will retain possession. And here are the Clippers now. They trail by 1.
Always impressive when a smaller player has a nose for the ball and rises up amongst the taller ones to grab rebounds.
1 quarter in the books, and it's been a close one so far. Mavericks ahead. They're up by 1. The second quarter coming up right after this break, so don't go anywhere. Kristaps Porzingis grew up in faraway Latvia, but thanks to his brother, developed a passion for the NBA.
My older brother, he was a big fan of NBA always, and he always had pictures of Michael and then Kobe and Shaq, and then we both started watching a lot of NBA highlights. And then later on, 13, 14, Kobe and Powell, I used to watch those guys play a lot.
And Greg, that's something different now for foreign players, isn't it? A lot more exposure to the NBA.
And KP, a fan of the culture. You saw him in cornrows as a kid. I think that helped prepare him for the transition.
Welcome back to Noche Latina, celebrating the Latin culture and their love for the game of basketball. It just keeps growing. And guys, what's your take on the Mavericks so far?
Attacking, drawing fouls. They won that first quarter at the line.
Yeah, they were going right at the opponent here and forcing their hand. I mean, like literally making them foul them.
Leva is the 4 with Porzingis in the middle. Richardson is out there with Burke, and it's Redick in at the small forward position. That's the lineup in the game for Dallas. Jackson kicks to Kennard. Pass to Cousins. Over Porzingis. And that one goes long. Mavericks leading by 3. Now here's Burke. No points in the game yet for him. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. You know, officials try to be as objective as possible, Brent. It does sometimes feel like we get superstar calls, correct?
I think there's absolutely superstar calls, Kevin, and, you know, the purist in me wants the referees to keep it fair, but understanding that the game is entertainment and understanding what it takes to be that level of player.
Take a break.
Every now and then, seeing a guy like James Harden getting a few more free throws or watching Giannis find his way to the line a few more times, I shrug my shoulders and I say, yeah, I actually kind of get it.
Yeah, good examples. No good on the free throw. And a new group getting ready for Dallas. Cauley-Stein, he's checked in for Porzingis. Dorian Finney-Smith comes in for Maxi Kleber. Tim Hardaway Jr.'s checked in for J.J. Redick. And Luka Doncic subbed in for Richardson. He hits the second from the line. Quarter number 2 with just over a minute gone. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Morris finds Leonard. Over Doncic. Leonard, no luck. And so it's Doncic with it. He brings it up for the Dallas Mavericks. They haven't allowed any points in the second quarter. Outside Hardaway. Knocked away. Clock at 6. Feeds it to Cauley-Stein. Gets to the rim for 2 with the D all over him. Cauley-Stein's got the lead up to 6 now for Dallas. Leonard looking over the floor. No good that time. Great D that time from Hardaway.
And they're controlling the boards, Kevin. That's +5 in that category.
Burke the pass to Cauley-Stein. George against Doncic. Burke kicks to Hardaway. Here's Finney-Smith. The Clippers grab the miss. Quarter 2 and just under 2.5 minutes gone by. Here's Leonard. The turnaround finds the hole for the second time from the floor. Now 2 for 5.
The strength and that body that Kawhi has, he finishes through contact as well as anyone in the league.
Many thought the Raptors or Lakers would land Kawhi, but in the end, he came to the Clippers to write his own legacy. Returning to Southern Cal, where he grew up, was a big part of his decision. The big surprise was how Kawhi was out recruiting other stars behind the scenes to join him with the Clippers.
On the wing, Doncic. Tips it up. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points. And that's now 6 points for Willie Cauley-Stein.
Yeah, the reach a factor there for Cauley-Stein. I'd love to see him hit the boards a little bit more often.
Here's Leonard. Cauley-Stein grabs the ball.
This is a rough stretch right here for him offensively. Seems to be rushing shots.
I didn't see that miss coming. I mean, he's usually been money from that range.
Clippers trail by 6. Passes it to Ibaka. And George kicks to Ibaka. Back to Morris. On the wing, George. Over Hardaway. That shot is off. Now the Mavericks take it the other way. Now the pass to Burke. Cauley-Stein trying to free himself up. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. It's on Kawhi Leonard. For Dallas, they have shot a good percentage from the free throw line so far. They've made 5 out of 6.
Shooting 2.
The first one falls. And the Mavericks making a change here. Brunson's checked in. Burke hits them both. Now Leonard. 23 points for him the last game against the Warriors in San Francisco.
And he passed the ball so well in that game, keeping everybody involved, even as he was racking up all those points.
Pass to George. Shoots over Brunson. Yep, it goes. And the Dallas lead is cut down to just 6 points, and the bucket from Paul George.
Now, Paul George ready to shoot as soon as he caught it. Quick release there.
Here's Doncic. Again, the miss by the Mavericks.
Well, they shouldn't be giving that shot to anyone, but they certainly shouldn't be giving it to him. That's a big break for the defense.
Dallas leading by 6. Tries it from the top of the key. He clangs that one off the back iron, and down it falls.
And he's got a good handle, excellent body control. Doncic is a threat to pull up from anywhere.
And the Clippers decide to take their first time out here.
And they just can't seem to get going offensively.
Yeah, they're like a 4-day-old soda right now, just flat, Greg. They're missing shots left and right and just not playing their best.
Getting ready for Dallas. Maxi Kleber, he's checked in for Willie Cauley-Stein. Porzingis is coming in for Dorian Finney-Smith. J.J. Redick's checked in for Trey Burke. And it's Richardson in for Doncic. Bring a look at the size and athleticism of DeMarcus Cousins, and you can forget just how skilled he is.
Well, the interesting part about Cousins, and as his career goes on, especially coming off the injury, Kevin, what does he rely on? Well, when he came into the league, as you said, he had that skill set. He's going to rely more and more on that ability to shoot the ball and to still make plays so that he's still an impact player in the NBA. Cousins came into the NBA. I had a chance to watch him at his very first Summer League game, and I thought he'd be a problem then. Well, he's still a problem now. I mean, he could do so many things out there.
No good at the stripe this time. Second misses also.
Yeah, just a solid job on the backboard. They are really controlling the inside.
Brunson, no good. 2 for 1 chance here.
Let's see if they use the clock to their advantage.
Batum, good.
And you want more of this from Jackson. The more unselfish he is, the better the team.
Here's Richardson. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. There's 25 seconds left in the first half of basketball. Jackson drives in. Mavericks with the rebound. Porzingis has got his 5th rebound in this one. Here's Richardson. Score of the basket. Nice shot after missing his first attempt.
Nice job. Richardson playing now in the mid-range. That tells me his offensive game is showing confidence.
Here's Jackson. Banked in off the glass. Jackson's got his first bucket in this one.
Yeah, that's not an assignment that I want there, Kevin. I'd rather do math homework than to try and cover that guy.
And so it's Dallas, with their lead standing at 6 points here at the end of the quarter. What a defensive effort they put on Kawhi Leonard. It's rare to see him have the kind of trouble he's had tonight. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks a lot, Kevin. DeMarcus, you guys have had chances, but you haven't taken advantage of those chances. What do you say to the team?
That's something I've been preaching on. They're giving us a lot of opportunities, and we got to do something with it. So hopefully we can keep them missing shots and we can get something out of it.
We'll see what happens in the second half. Thanks, DeMarcus. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, thank you, David. And folks, don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here for the start of quarter number 3.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny, and a favorite time of the year as we're halfway through one of the first games of this fresh NBA season. The first quarter for the Mavericks was fairly even. They never trailed by more than 3 points, and it was neck and neck the entire period. They really touched on the right formula in the second quarter as they were able to pull out to a 6-point lead before the halftime break. And Kenny, what are your thoughts on how Dallas played?
Well, I like their effort on the board because the game could come down to just a few key possessions, and extra rebounds can give you those extra possessions if you work at it.
And over to Shaq. Now your take on the Clippers.
Well, they shot under 40% in the half. That tells the story right there. Defense deserves some credit for disrupting the facility, but they need to counteract with more creativity on offense. Few isolations, more movement, better shot selection.
That's all for now. Say goodbye to the folks. Thanks for joining us. Third quarter, just about ready to begin.
And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during the half. Porzingis with a strong contribution so far in this one.
It takes a lot to dominate a game without shooting lights out, but that's exactly what he was able to do with his play on the glass.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through the first half in a game that's been fairly even so far. And so Ibaka will bring it up for Los Angeles. 6-point game. Third quarter action getting rolling right now. Brought to you by Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. Here's who's on the floor. So for the Clippers right now, Patrick Beverly out there with Paul George. And it's Marcus Morris. And it's Ibaka. And it's Leonard in at the 3 slot. The Clippers shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
Shooting 2.
And the first one drops.
One of the best free throw shooting bigs in the league, but that wasn't always the case for Ibaka. He has put in a ton of work.
And both free throws good for Serge Ibaka. And so here is Dallas. They lead by 4. Next matchup, they'll be home against the Suns. That game will conclude a 3-game homestand. Doncic, no good.
And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
Ibaka with the ball. And George kicks to Morris. Just 5 on the clock. Right wing. From the stripe. The shot by George, no good.
He lacks defense there. He's going to see fewer and fewer chances if he can't bury those kind of jumpers.
Greg, you look at the young Luka Doncic. What impresses you the most right now about his game?
Well, Kevin, you just don't see many players his height who can handle and make step-back threes. Also, his confidence. He came into the league never doubting that he could dominate a game, and don't forget about his brilliance as a passer.
And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
Man, as Dirk Nowitzki walks off into the sunset, the Mavericks seem to have found their next European superstar in Luka Doncic. The number 3 pick in last year's draft had a rookie season for the ages.
First one falls for him. And Doncic, the EuroLeague MVP, led Real Madrid to a title. EuroLeague Finals MVP, all at the tender age of 19.
Incredibly accomplished. Despite that, slipped a little bit in the draft into the waiting arms of the Mavs, who moved up 2 spots to get him.
All free throws good from Doncic.
You could tell he's feeling confident right now at the line, and when he's on, he can be lights out.
Pass to Morris. Kicks to Leonard. From the wing. Misses off the left iron.
And gotta like what they've been doing down low in the post.
On the wing, Doncic. A three-pointer, no good.
Teammates right now covering up for the type of off performance he's having. In terms of scoring, this has not been his best night. They're going to try to search out for somebody that's got a hot hand right now. 1 of 4 to start the half.
Yep, it counts. Doncic has got 4 this quarter.
Creative at finding ways to just cut inside there. Doncic, a guy you must keep your eyes on.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Beverly, the pass to Leonard. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Leonard's got 6.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Hardaway passes to Doncic. Pass to Cauley-Stein. Here's Finney-Smith. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. Here's Doncic. That doesn't go either for Doncic. Clippers trail by 4. The shot by George, wide open. It's rebounded by Doncic. Doncic has got his 5th rebound in this one.
Maybe there are ways to contribute that don't involve shooting the basketball. That's the best way that maybe he can help them out in trying to win this game.
A fader. No good off the front iron.
If he's going to keep shooting, they've got to run some plays for him. Screens, pick and rolls, anything they can do to get him started.
Beverly against Doncic. Now here's Beverly. Not a lot of room. Back to Ibaka. Jacks up a 3. The Mavericks pull it in. Doncic has got 6 rebounds here tonight. Hardaway passes to Doncic. Cauley-Stein with it. Fires for 3. The rebound by Ibaka. On the wing, George. Cauley-Stein defending. Left side, George. Here's Beverly. Morris trying to free himself up. Cauley-Stein with the defensive effort. Doncic against Leonard. Here's Porzingis. Good work defensively by Ibaka.
Now, I'll be honest, I thought there's no way that he's missing that close. That's a bunny. Give it up for the aggressive defense, Kevin.
1:21 left in the 3rd quarter. Dallas calls timeout. And Brent, as you know, there aren't many players that can set a tone for a team, but Patrick Beverly is one of them.
And Patrick Beverly always embraces that role about setting the tone defensively on an opposing team's point guard, making sure that tonight, if you're going to beat the team that Pat Beverly plays on, you're going to have to go through them.
Maxi Kleber, he's checked in for Willie Cauley-Stein. Reddick comes in for Dorian Finney-Smith. Richardson, he's checked in for Hardaway. And it's Jalen Brunson in for Doncic. Brunson kicks to Richardson. Back to Brunson. And there's the pass to Kleber. Dallas moving it around. Dallas needs to get off a shot. Here's Richardson. The 18-footer is right on the mark. And the Mavericks lead by 4.
Okay, that's some good shot selection by Richardson. Fantastic at squaring himself up before firing that one.
Zubac, the pass to Jackson. Batum scanning the floor. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. That's on J.J. Redick. And the versatile wing, Nick Batum, wants a do-it-all score, but Greg, he's started to take less of an active role in offenses lately.
And Batum has been asked to do less volume scoring, but it's helped his efficiency as a player. Now past 30 years of age, you can see his role on teams being similar to that of Andre Iguodala's as he ages in the league.
Shooting 2.
Throw good, Nicholas Batum.
And Batum brings length and a versatile game to his spot on the wing, and his defense always a big asset for this team. He's the kind of player that everybody needs to have out there, kind of a glue guy.
And both free throws good for Nicholas Batum.
This is as good as it gets from the charity stripe here in the second.
34 seconds left here in the third quarter. Here's Brunson. No good off the back of the rim. And here's Cousins. He'll bring it up for the Clippers. Their defense has only allowed 6 points in the second half. Richardson against Jackson. Porzingis with the block.
Yeah, good luck getting a shot over the 7-foot, 6-inch tall wingspan of Kristaps Porzingis.
It's a tie game in Dallas. And when we return, we'll get the fourth quarter rolling right here on 2K Sports. And a chance right now to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter for him.
Well, there's a way to break down the defense with the handle, but you can do it with the pass. A prime example of that right there.
Well, this has been a great contest so far, and I imagine the fourth quarter could have even more action in store for us. Kleber is the 4 with Porzingis in the middle. Jalen Brunson out there with Trey Burke, and it's Richardson in its small forward. That's the lineup in the game for Dallas. Brunson finds Burke. Latrey. That one no good, as the Clippers taking it the other way. Jackson dishes to Cousins, and Cousins throws it down.
That's power from DeMarcus Cousins.
And it's the Mavericks with the ball. And here's Richardson. Now here's Burke. Pass to Richardson. Takes the 13-footer. Here's Porzingis, and the dunk by Porzingis.
Tough to match up with the length of Porzingis, and when he's floating around there, sometimes those rebounds are going to come up, and he's just too big to not get some.
Here's Kennard. Shoots. Offensive rebound. Jackson kicks to Cousins. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson. Jackson's got 3 assists now in this one. About a minute and a half through the fourth quarter now. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Pass to Kleber. He dishes it to Burke. Shot clock at 5 to the left side wing. Here's Porzingis. Shot is good off the back rim and in. Porzingis has got 4 points now in the quarter.
Porzingis with a soft jump shot there. Nice touch.
And the Clippers call time here. Stein, he's checked in for Maxi Kleba. Dorian Finney-Smith comes in for Josh Richardson. Hardaway is subbed in for Trey Burke. The Clippers also making some changes. Leonard, he's checked in for Batum. Paul George comes in for Luke Kennard. And it's Patrick Beverly in for Jackson. On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin, during the last break, I heard Doc Rivers talking with his team. He said, this is what we play for, fellas. Let's knock them on their heels right out of the timeout. Show them how much you want it. Go get it. He really is fired up about this game.
Here's Beverly. And the rebound goes to the Mavericks.
I'm not going to see that very often. The defense in the vicinity, but still, he's not one to blow layups.
Good on the triple.
So many different offenses that Tim Hardaway Jr. has played in, but he's trying to improve in his on-court awareness. A good show of it there.
Passes to Zubac. He kicks it to Leonard. George against Hardaway. Leonard on the wing. Lets it go from 11. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over.
Well, after committing a turnover like that, you're just praying the game doesn't come down to the last possession. You'll remember that one.
Doncic is checked in for the Mavericks. The Clippers also making some changes. Baca comes in for Ivica Zubac. And Marcus Morris subbed in for DeMarcus Cousins. Outside Hardaway. Second shot opportunity. Morris with the rebound. Morris has got 5 rebounds tonight. Leonard attacking, and Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
Oh, you could see it from the moment he caught the ball. Leonard looking to rise to the occasion, making the big shot to help the team out.
To the paint, here's Porzingis, and the dunk by Porzingis.
Porzingis loving the moment right here, stepping up huge.
And so Beverly will bring it up for Los Angeles. Trailing by 2. The pass to George. There's 1:54 left to play in the final quarter. Here's Finney-Smith. Moves back up. Doncic trying to get open. The shot by Cauley Stein, no good. Los Angeles has gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
Yeah, I think you got to be cautious when you guard Paul George. He's not afraid of the contact, and that time welcomed it.
Take a break. Inside.
So the first one drops, and that narrows the gap to 1.
And you wonder if Paul George finally has a situation here where he could show why he's an elite player, why he's an all-star, but to pay off how hungry he is to prove it with a late postseason run.
And both free throws good for Paul George.
And he's the one person that the coaching staff and the teammates love to see at the line in a tight ball game. You can pretty much bank on these.
On the wing, Doncic, covered by Morris. Here's Finney Smith, good on the three-point shot. Finney Smith's got himself going there, his first points of the game in the deep ball. Clippers trail by 3. 1:11 left to play here in the fourth. Beverly against Porzingis. 6 on the shot clock. Beverly, the pass to Ibaka. Los Angeles with another miss. Dallas has gone 2 of 5 on three-point shots since the end of the third quarter. On the wing, Hardaway. Dallas moving the ball around. Here's Doncic. But they'll get another chance.
Oh, great job there, tracking down the long rebound, and the clock will continue to run.
George, that's a 2-pointer. And the foul called on Marcus Morris. That's his first foul. This may be their most important possession.
No doubt about it. As long as they don't make any major mistakes, this one's in the bag.
6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Got it.
They're in total command of this game with time starting to run out.
Yeah, looking for a miracle worker out there is the opposing coaching staff. I don't know that they have one. This game seems to be well in hand.
And the Clippers call time here. They're trailing by 5. 20 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. What's your take?
Yeah, trying to get back in this thing, and they need a score.
It's funny, at this point in the game, the coach is asking the team to be perfect. They haven't been to this point.
And he's up over 50% from the field here tonight. And that speaks to how solid his shot selection has been. Nothing forced and really no bad decisions. Just good, smart, offensive basketball.
Doncic against Beverly. Morris outside. Nails the tray.
And that's a clutch bucket by Morris, showing the team they can count on him down the stretch.
And they commit an intentional foul. We'll see another one of those so they can get into the penalty.
Yeah, you have to do that, though. You can't just let them dribble the game out.
Dallas calls timeout. They're leading by 2. 7 seconds left in the fourth quarter. there. Good on the first, and that makes it a 3-point lead.
Tim Hardaway Jr. has some nights where it just looks effortless for him to get out and get 20 points. It's nice when he rebounds and passes in those games as well, showing complete game. Ooh, I think that's a wrap, and I can tell you, you can't have more pressure-packed free throws than the ones that are going to seal the game.
And the Clippers call time here. They're behind by 4. 6 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
Score, then hope for some missed free throws or a turnover at the other end.
Yeah, this won't be easy, so a little bit of luck will go a long way for them to get back in.
Leonard kicks to Morris. Here's the 3. So it's a narrow victory for the Mavericks, pulling out the W. It was a fantastic ball game, and they did a great job making sure it didn't get away from them late.
Yeah, I mean, they faced some challenges, but really held firm when they needed to. On both ends, and just effective in terms of coming away with this win.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. KP, you guys did a great job contesting shots and disrupting their offense. What did you like best about the defensive effort tonight?
I think from the beginning of the game, we just started off aggressive. We were connected defensively, and that's how we were able to stop them.
You got it done when it counted, Kristaps. Thanks a lot. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Brent Barry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our 2K Sports crew. And we'll see you next time.